I'm here to explain why I left the Critical Drinker and his group, and people like Neurotic and Molar. The reason I left them is I found Critical Drinker like in 2022 and all of that. At first, I did not like him at all because he hated Marvel movies and he hated like DC and all of that. And slowly, I started to like him, and I stayed with him for 23 and 24. But at the end of 24 to early 25, I started to couldn't handle him anymore once again, and and I started to get tired of his videos. So so I left Neurotic in January 25 because he don't like anything either, like pop culture or anything. And he has, I heard, and I'm going to talk about what I've learned from them as well, what they don't talk about on their channels and all that. And I learned it from Reddit. But anyways, like Neurotic, I left him in January 2025. I was tired of his videos and all of that. I just couldn't take the ranting anymore because it was entertaining at first, but it got unfunny and all of that. So usually with the Critical Drinker, he hates the 2000s and the 2010s movies, and I never knew why. Actually, I did because he just liked the 90s, and to him there was a period in the 80s was superior to him, which I get. I like 90s movies and 80s movies, but I don't take them too far. That's saying only the 90s movies are good than the 2000s and the 2010s, because there's some good 2000 movies out there and the 2010s movies and all of that. He just hates like movies that came out in today, and he hates the ones that they're not even woke or anything like that. I don't want to get too much into the woke stuff, but I don't think the woke situation is not the main problem with our planet. There's many others that happens on our planet that's worse than the woke, like like single parenting homes, uh, and there was people the way people grow up based how they grew up. I think that's much worse than that than the wokeness that's going on because I look at stuff like that. And anyways, and they also hate the pronoun people as well. They hate the pronoun people so much, but on the internet, I mean on Twitter, I came across nice pronoun people who are nice to me and don't cause harm to me. So I don't know where they're getting this. They're all hateful and evil from. I don't know where they're getting it from, or they're just not seeing it on their end. I really believe. Anyways, I saw this video on talking about critical drinker and all that. He broke it down, saying like it's just his beliefs and his opinions on on like on these movies and his audience. And the comment section, they said his audience don't watch like most of these movies, which I believe they're right because his audience like hates everything and all of that. And the Reddit people claims his stuff is rage bait and just hitting on small details that ruins the movie. I think it's like I'm starting to think it's very true. Like he probably don't like one person and just not make the movie good. Like, just don't focus on that person then if you don't like them. So, anyways, my side is hurting. Let me just get in the chair. Anyways, He broke it down from start to finish. I forgot what his name is called. I was on him, looking him 2 days ago, talking about Critical Drinker and exposing him. And and the movies that he does like is only Blade Runner, Judge Dredd, Puss in Boots, and that's it. And Top Gun, and that's it. He don't like nothing else. Like he don't even like he don't even like what else? He don't like actually already said he don't like DC at all. He don't even like other movies that came out in the 2000s. I just don't know what they are. But his main focus is just rage baiting on Marvel a lot and DC a lot. And he made a video of why modern movies suck and all of that. I kind of agree with him at first, but I just think it's just rage bait because because he just rants and raves on the modern movies a lot. He just can't get out of he can't get out of the 90s at all. He just thinks the 90s were just perfect to him. The movies were just perfect. And everything should be like the 90s. But the 2000s, what I grew up during the 2000s and 2010s. There were good movies out there. There was good movies like uh, the movies he never heard of is Mad Max. He don't ever talks Mad Max on his channel. He just he just like hates on it. Like there's movies like The Dark Knight, and there's movies like uh, what else? I can't think of any. Sadly, I can't think of any. And but he don't. And also his group. I know his group doesn't like anime at all. To be honest, they have this strange grudge against it for some reason, and they don't like it. Why? It's probably I don't know, but it must have happened something in their childhood or something down way back when they were probably growing up or something when they were kids or in their teens. I think they're those type of people that like they like the superheroes. I heard about superheroes. I mean about anime characters and all of that. All of them is about growth and how to get to go where they're going in their stories. And I really like anime. I've been liking it since I was 12 years old and all of that to now. There's some good stories on anime characters and the like shows. Like I'm getting myself into Dragon Ball. They never talk about Dragon Ball on their channel. Like I'm surprised they haven't heard about Dragon Ball or Naruto or even Mobile Suit Gundam or anything like that. And he don't even look at. I only saw him looking at revealing one anime, which was Attack on Titan, and that's it. I didn't see him looking at nothing else. And they don't care enough about the Japanese culture or anything like that, which I believe the redditors were actually true. They don't care about stuff like that. I deeply do, because over there in Japan is not like over here. Their beliefs is different than over here. Their tradition is different than over here. And usually the anime stuff don't care about the wokeness or anything. They just want to make good content and stuff like that. So I started to learn truth about critical drinker starting around. I stopped looking at critical drinker around March, and I never came back to his looked at his channel again. Also, he hated. He doesn't care about like no one cares about this movie. No one cares about this movie. And Hunger Games, for example, he said, Hunger Games. Nobody cares any about the Hunger Games anymore. I don't think it's true. That's not true at all. Because when I go to Twitter and Facebook, there's teenagers and people still talking about the Hunger Games, whether he likes it or not. And he just doesn't care about it at all. Just him, because it's all him and his just rage bait audience. And there was this guy's name's Hughes versus Babyface. I found out he was 50 years old, and I was thinking he was 40. And his stories was when he was little, I guess he he ran away from home because he refused to clean up his room, which is very immature, by the way. Kind of sounds somewhat like my brother. He refused to clean his part of the room. It's just very immature behavior, and it looks like he just carried to his adulthood. I don't know too much about Hughes versus Babyface. I don't know more about him, but I'm going to learn more about him. That's why, like like the old reviewers still stands out, like Chris Duckman, Stone Gremlin, Nostalgia Critic, because they deeply care about anime so much. They like Dragon Ball. They're religiously heavily into Dragon Ball. They have the Dragon Ball figures. They talk about Dragon Ball on their channel, and they talk about Sailor Moon. They talk about Naruto and all the other anime shows. Even though I never seen Naruto, only saw I think one movie of Naruto. That was a long time ago. But I'm just going to still watch Naruto, and uh, they look at other popular anime out there as well. I don't know the name of those, and I just like those people because they have heart. Critical Drinker and his group and Neurotic, they don't look like they have hearts. They just hold strong grudges against somebody. That's all they are. So, and Mauler, I heard he makes 6 hour videos. That's that's like pretty much he just rants for 6 hours, which is a waste. You shouldn't rant for 6 hours. That's no one's gonna watch 6 hours of you ranting. It's like Critical Drinker and Mower just likes to rant a lot. They just like raging and just ranting a lot. And I just think that's just their hobby because I couldn't find their actual hobby or anything and what they do off the internet. They didn't say that over there on like Chris Duckman and Penguin Z Zero and like Nostalgia Critic, and they don't do stuff like that. So that's all I have to say about the Critical Drinker and his group, and just why I left. And going to look at find other reviewers out there. So I'll see you in the next one.